Hello everyone, I'm Kevin, otherwise known as Forum BX257, here to bring you another 1980s G.I. Joe toy review. And today I'll be taking a look at the G.I. Joe's Ranger, the 1982 Stalker, as well as the 1983 Swivel Arm Battle Grip Update. Now, Stalker, like a lot of 1982 characters, makes his first appearance in the old Marvel comic run in issue number 1. He also makes his first cartoon appearance in the 1983 5-part miniseries, A Real American Hero, in the very first part. Now, one thing that's always surprised me is Stalker actually has a background of being in a street gang. And that's pretty much all it says. It doesn't really give you why he joined or why he left. It just says he was in a street gang. I believe there was more to the story than that, and I'm kind of surprised that it was just left at that. But the comic book, nor does the cartoon, really delve into that history. As a matter of fact, the comic book actually does delve into Stalker's being in the Vietnam conflict, along with Tommy Arashikage, who wound up becoming Storm Shadow, and his best buddy, Snake Eyes. Another very interesting thing is in the comic books, Hawk, when forming the G.I. Joe team, goes to Stalker as the very first recruitment. It's Stalker who actually leads Hawk to Snake Eyes and recruits him as well. Now, in both the comic books and the cartoons, Stalker actually has more of a command position. He is put in charge of a lot of missions. But like Scarlet and Roadblock and the second Ranger, Beachhead, he really only has a sergeant's rank. And it's really interesting that such a low-ranking character is given such a high command position. Way back in 1982, the all-over factory paint application of camouflage was something that you just didn't see on action figures at the time. So Stalker really popped on the shelves. It's rather unfortunate because, well, Stalker is made out of a very light green plastic, which, like Zap and Steeler from the same year, tended to be rather brittle. So the thumbs and even the arms themselves tended to snap right off with use, which is one of the reasons why I don't have a loose version of the 1982 version of the figure. Instead, I prefer the 1983 Swivel Arm Battle Grip Update. Stalker only comes with one accessory, and that is what the contents list of his card call an M32 Pulverizer Submachine Gun. With a designation like M32, you'd think it would be some type of fancy update of a grease gun, but it's not. It's actually the early version of a Heckler & Koch MP5. The early versions had this stick magazine, which had this ribbing on the front. MP5s that we know today all have the curved magazine, so this does really give it a very different profile from what we're used to. And in fact, because this is an MP5 and probably something like a 9mm or 45 caliber, it's very interesting that the second Ranger, the 1986 Beachhead, also comes with a low caliber large submachine gun. Now, in the cartoons, Beachhead kind of replaced Stalker. Even though Stalker was still in the background of the cartoon, clearly Beachhead became the go-to mission commander of the Rangers. But in the comic book, even though Beachhead was introduced later, he was still in the background, with Stalker being very prominent in the foreground. Just for clarification, I understand a sergeant's rank does come with certain command responsibilities. However, within the G.I. Joe team, there are varying ranks, and Stalker winds up being in command of people who clearly outrank him, such as Steeler, 1982 tank commander, who is a lieutenant. Even though Stalker is one of the integral parts of the G.I. Joe team, his name has sort of a negative connotation nowadays. When it was first devised, I'm sure it was really meant to imply a predator animal stalking a prey, which is what the file card actually alludes to. Well, that's all the time I have right now. Thank you for watching my video, and stay tuned for next week to see another 1980s G.I. Joe toy review. See you then!